Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm so excited for this video because this is a very first proper book review. I usually do like a quarterly wrap up. I don't think I've really done like a proper book review. I think I've done only for We Used to Live Here by Marcus Cleaver. But again, if you haven't checked that video out, I'll link that below. You can go check it out. But I'm so excited to review this particular book for two main reasons. The first one is that this was the book club pick. I've started this book club this year. It's called Down the Rabbit Hole. You'll find all the information and the link to join the book club. It's a Discord group. Everything in the description box below. So yes, it was the book club pick, but also because I just have too many thoughts about this book. This is the book that won the Goodreads Choice Award for Mystery Thriller 2024. So I had to read it and find out why did it win. And you're going to get all my thoughts here. I'm going to give you spoiler section as well as non-spoiler section. So I have put the timestamp below. If you want to just listen to the non-spoiler section, you can just skip ahead. And if you just, you know what this book is about and everything, and if you just want to hear my spoiler thoughts, then you can just skip to that part as well. But get a drink that you enjoy or anything that you want to eat and settle down because this is going to be a journey. Just quickly popping in before we actually get into the whole book thing. I just realized that my voice was sounding extremely weird. I think it was because the mic, I had just attached it here and it was not working out. Also, the lights were reflecting onto my glasses, which I know is like something that even I don't like it. But I am not wearing my lenses today, so we'll have to make do with this. And I think I'm just going to hold the mic here. I think that's just a better way for you guys to actually not find my voice weird. But anyway, okay, now that we have that out of the way, let's get into the book review. So, The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. This book is about this girl named Barbara Van Laar who goes missing from this summer camp. And I think around 15 or 16 years ago, her brother Bear also goes missing in a very similar fashion. So there is this whole disappearances that is going on, and we're trying to uncover this mystery of what happened. How did Barbara go missing? And yeah, that's what the book is all about. Yeah, now let's get into the non-spoiler section and my thoughts. So let's get into the pros and the cons. I think that will be easier for me to break it down and tell you guys why I think this is a pro or why I think this is a con. Let's just start with the cons, shall we? We'll try to end it on a positive note. So my first con is that it has a lot of characters and it is very hard to keep track of them. And some of them just did not feel relevant, honestly. And when I tell you it's a lot of characters, it's a lot of characters. Oh my god. I think in the first section, which is around 80 pages long, we are introduced to 12 characters, and it's so hard to keep a track of all these characters. My second con is that this is 400 pages and it did not need to be. No, it just did not need to be 400 pages long at all. I think it could have benefited if it was 150 pages shorter. My third con, and this is something that I really, really want you to talk about. This book is marketed as mystery/thriller. I don't think that's right. I think it's definitely not a thriller. That is 100% sure it's not. At least I didn't find it thrilling at all. It just felt like it was more of a family drama than really a thriller. There is a mystery. There is the whole mystery of Barbara being missing, and also Bear, her brother, also went missing, and we're trying to see if this disappearances are connected in any way. Yes, there is a mystery at the core of it, but I think that as you read the book and as you get so much backstory of these characters, and you especially get a lot of backstory of Barbara's mother, Alice, and so it just felt a lot like a familial drama than really a thriller. And it really surprises me that this book won the Goodreads Choice Award. I haven't read the other books that was there in the nominations, but I don't know. I mean, if this one has won, are the other ones really that bad? So yeah, I just wish that it was marketed more of a family drama / mystery. Maybe would have been something that I wouldn't be expecting a crazy thriller going into it. My fourth con, and I know this is probably not a very substantial one, but it is named God of the Woods. Where is the relation to it? And I'm not trying to spoil anything for you guys here, but I'm just going to tell you that if you're going to think there is some deeper meaning with this, this God in the woods or an entity or whatever it is, it's just not. Because I want you guys to go into this book knowing what you're getting into. And if you're anything like me, you will be having very different expectations with the title, with the whole plot. So no, I just want you guys to know what you're getting into. So no, the title, I genuinely did not understand the connection too much. It felt like it was going to connect because there was a slight hint of it. But, well, It just did not make that much sense to me. My fifth con, which again connects back to the characters, we got so much backstory of all these characters, and you almost feel like some of the characters or some of the backstories are really going to come into play, and they don't. And that is extremely disappointing for me as a reader because I was invested in a lot of character backstory. I really thought this is somehow going to come together, and we are just going to find these connections, but there were none. And the connections that they showed at the ending, for me, that felt like it just came out of the blue. It didn't feel like something that was building up. Like, there are these thrillers that you read sometimes, or these mystery books that you read sometimes, and you're like, oh my god, how did I not see that coming? Because there were these breadcrumbs left along the way in the story. But when it comes to God of the Woods, none of that happened. You wouldn't even suspect such connections because you were just never even given any hint of it. And it just felt like, just for surprise factor, just for certain reveals, it was thrown off in there. But again, just did not make sense. Okay, my final con, and I don't know if this is really a con or not, because I feel like over the years I've become a little more patient reader, and this could definitely be like subjective. But I think the pacing of the book was way too slow for what the plot was. It's a mystery. We have like this detective come in. You would expect the book to, like, like boom, 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 action, and everyone's like, where did Barbara go and what's happening? But it was way too slow. It was like, I feel like a chunk of the book, like I think the 85% of the book was surrounded around the backstories of the characters rather than focusing on the mystery. So that just slowed down the pacing of the book in general for me. And again, as I said, I have become a very patient reader, but even then it was very slow for me. And just 400 pages, slow pacing, so much backstory and characters did not add to a great experience. I know I just said it was my final con, but I actually remember I have the biggest con, and I don't know why I forgot about that completely. It is the ending. The ending of the book. Oh my god, what was that ending? It was not like, oh my god, I did not see that ending coming, that was so cool. No, it was not. It was one of the most underwhelming, one of the most, like, not necessary. We could have just completely removed that ending. That exactly how this book ended. When you read that ending, you almost feel like there was no point in the entire book. There was no point for this entire book to be written. And if that was going to be the ending, I would rather that I know that this book is a complex family drama rather than labeling it as a mystery, because the mystery loses its meaning the moment you reach the end. So that was my biggest con. Okay, so I feel like I've spoken a lot about the cons. Let's get into the pros of the books. So the first pro of the book is I was invested in some of the backstories, definitely. Um, I think a fantastic job that the author has done is to create all the characters like very 3D, because you get a lot of, like, you get their background, you get why they are the way they are, how they have grown up, and all of that thing. So you get connected to the characters, which I think sometimes is really hard to do. And when you're introducing so many characters, and then you make sure that the reader is connected to a lot of characters, which I think is a very good job. So that's definitely one of the pros. My second pro and my final pro, and I know this is so sad because I have the cons list way more than the pros list. So there are this whole like mysteries going on, but I think one part of the mystery, and I'm trying to be very vague here because this is the non-spoiler section. So one part of the mystery, I feel like I really liked how that part was shown, but then the second or the other part of the mystery, just no. First part of the mystery I think makes so much sense. And again, as I said, that if we could have just stopped there, if the book would have just stopped there, or the book revolved around just that bit, I think it would be a much better book, and definitely something that I would have rated higher or I would have recommended highly. But that was not the case. I will say though, like, the pro of the book and the biggest pro of the book is that, well, this is my book club pick, and I am happy that I read it with some of the people in the book club. I am like glad that we had that experience together. I think that is what just kept me going, and that is what made me actually go through the book and read it. So it wasn't all of like the worst experience. So yeah, I guess it's really sad that my cons list is so many more than the pros. This is not something how I wanted my book club to start, or just like a reading experience in general. But yeah, that was my review for God of the Woods. I will say, like, if you are looking for something that's more of a family drama with hint of a mystery, there is a mystery, but like, if you can just go into this book knowing that it's more of about the characters and their drama and the complexities rather than mystery being the focus, then I recommend this book. I want you to know that this is not going to be the crazy thriller mystery book that you would expect. Definitely, if you're a beginner to mystery, if you haven't read like a lot of plot twists, or if you haven't read a lot of crazy mystery books, this is definitely a good point to start. But it is slow. You have to stick through it, and it's going to be a lot of characters that you have to keep a track of. So I would say that, yeah, for a beginner and for someone who's into family drama complexities, you can definitely pick this book up. So I'm going to rate God of the Woods as 3 on 5. I'm probably being a little merciful, but I definitely think the reason I'm giving it a 3 and not a 2 is because of some of the characters. I think they were really interesting and their backstories were interesting. So that is the reason it's getting a 3 on 5. So now we are getting into the spoiler section. Oh my god, I have like so many thoughts, but because I did talk mostly about my cons and I spoken about my pros in the non-spoiler section, so I'm gonna jump right into like what I liked, what I did not like, but giving you guys a more spoiler version. Let's talk about characters because we were introduced to so many of the characters. And I think the initial like backstory of Alice, Barbara's mother, was interesting. Like how she came to meet Peter, and Peter being this absolutely like vile guy. Like I cannot even. But um, I think like I really got invested in that part when Alice was just like telling us about the backstory, and I totally like really thought that that is somehow is going to come and tie into the whole mystery. But I was very disappointed to know that did not really tie out. It felt like we were just trying to sympathize with Alice, and the author wanted us to connect to Alice's character, and so let's just give her this whole backstory of her husband being an absolutely pathetic man, and she is just not having the best marriage. But I again did not understand what was the point of it all. And the reason I say that this is a family drama because right off the bat, and again, if you have been reading a lot of thrillers and mystery, you can definitely guess some of the reveals. Like you can definitely guess about the affair. You can definitely guess like these two disappearances are probably not going to be connected. And I honestly I would have preferred if they were, but they were not. Again, it's such a disappointment. And what is happening with the serial killer on the loose? I think the thing that frustrated me the most about the whole character bit is the serial killer. I mean, we're talking about this serial killer being on loose. We're talking about the serial killer being during the time when Bear disappeared, and then there is no connection between any of the disappearance and this little guy. What was the point of introducing that character? Like the whole backstory of that character and the whole connection just did not make sense. That was not necessary. And okay, fine. We have the serial killer. We get a little bit of point of view from the serial killer. We still don't know, like, the evidences that we have against the serial killer and the evidences that, like, the thoughts or the POV that we're seeing from this character is completely contrasting. Like, you still don't know if he actually murdered all those people or not. And, well, again, you could have just not have that character at all. It was just not necessary. And please tell me how this guy doesn't want to say anything, and then he meets a detective and he's like, oh, I want to say everything that I know about that day. And the explanation given for that was just absolutely not necessary. I think my sentence for this book would be this was absolutely not necessary. That's exactly what it is. And this is a mystery, right? This is a mystery book. And we get the detective in the second half of the book because in the first half, the first 200 or so pages, we're only getting backstories of characters and they're not even going to get connected at the end. I think the book would have been really like, at least I would have preferred it more if we had the detective from the beginning and then we were getting the snippets of this character's background. We were getting some of the like relevant, connected stories of this characters rather than just go into them and just like what happened exactly to them and then to all have it not really making sense at the end. Like Louise, for example, is one such character. We get the whole background of hers, her relationship with this guy, her brother, her mother, and all of that, and just felt like it was did not mount to anything. And then what about Scary Mary? Oh my god. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I can go on and on about the characters itself because a lot of things just felt like was there so that you could be like, ah, okay, that was the connection. Right, I did not see that coming. Of course, I did not see that coming because there was no connection. It was just made for you to be surprised. Scary Mary, the person who comes out to be Scary Mary, the wife of Carl, she just roams around the wood after Carl passes away. Just again, absolutely no reason. That was again not necessary. It was just there. I felt like so that we could get another like 10 pages of this character. Okay, now let's take a moment to talk about the disappearances. We have two mysteries going on in this book, the disappearance of Bear and the disappearance of Barbara. I think the Bear's disappearance part I was more invested in. It just felt a little ominous. It felt that there was this certain hint of eeriness in the entire part. So I really, really liked that bit. I liked when we were hearing like parts of how he disappeared, and we were hearing, and we were like, sorry, I don't know why I keep saying we are hearing. We were reading from these different point of views of the day that he disappeared. And I think that was interesting. I really liked the reveal as well, of that disappearance. I liked how we were, it did not, like, you wouldn't see it coming, but there was the breadcrumb. You could see that Alice was drinking. You could see that how she was not being herself, and the only thing that for her that kept her going was Bear. And I really, really liked that whole thing. But again, it just felt like a bit of a plot hole, because she didn't remember, she didn't know what happened, and then the entire family sort of covered it up. And this is the reason why I keep saying that this really should have been marketed as a family drama with a mystery. Like, that makes more sense. And I just feel like if we could have just focused on this bit of the mystery, it should have just been Bear's disappearance. And we get this Alice's background, we get a bit of we have this detective from the beginning trying to understand what happened. I think this would have been the perfect book, or a novella. Honestly, like 250 pages or 200 pages of this mystery family drama. And I'm telling you, I would have rated it way higher. Coming to Barbara's whole disappearance thing, I don't even know what to comment on it. I mean, Peter Sr. does say that, Barbara probably ran away because she kept saying that she will. And that's exactly what happened. I just want to forget this ending. I just want to just believe that we were just reading about Bear's disappearance, and I just want to keep it at that, because Barbara's disappearance and is not even a disappearance. She just took off because she just didn't want to be a part of that family anymore. This is exactly one of those classic example of, oh my god, I was just dreaming. That's exactly what happened. So no, I did not like that ending at all. It just did not make sense to me. Not necessary. Drink every time I say not necessary. Drink. And now, the final thing that I just want to discuss is the title of this book. It's called The God of the Woods. I'm sorry, where is that connection of the God of the Woods? Even if it's not, there is no God as such, which is completely fine. I just feel like it's a really nice touch when the book's title makes a lot of sense. And in this case, for me, it did not. And yeah, so I don't want to rant too much about this book. I am not a person who rants a lot about a book, because I know a lot of work goes into writing a book, fleshing out characters, going through the entire publication process, and all of that. So I don't want to rant a lot about this book, but personally I did not like it very much. I just wish that this was shorter and more, and we just had like one mystery going on, and it was marketed correctly. That definitely would have been great for me, because I would know what I'm getting into. But again, congratulations to the author for winning the award, for the best mystery thriller Goodreads Choice Award. Well, if you have directly skipped to the spoiler section, just for your benefit, I'm going to tell you that I have given this book a 3 on 5. If you are looking to read something that has sort of a hint of a mystery, and that is also a lot of family drama, and you like reading a lot about characters, so definitely pick this book up. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I get to make more videos, because yeah, I have to keep telling myself that I have to make more videos. But thank you so much for watching all my videos. And please subscribe if you haven't already. I am going to try and be more active. I'm going to try to upload, honestly, every Thursday. I think I'm going to shift my day from Tuesday to Thursday. But either way, just press the bell notification so you will be notified every time I upload a video. And I will see you soon again in my next video. So bye.